Welcome back to another episode of Throwback Thursday. You waited quite a while until I return, or now that I'm returning with that. A lot of people actually ask me if this series is going to continue at some point, and I think it's about time that at least one or two replays for the Throwback Thursday will be here. So we're gonna have a top replay from w3arena.net, and we're gonna see how this game unfolds. We have quite a big name here at our hands. It's IQ 55, describing the level of intelligence that some people have. Maybe that player, maybe other players, you never know. But he is known as Grubby, and Grubby is one of the guys, one of the most accomplished Warcraft 3 players in Warcraft history. But who am I telling that? You guys know him, you guys know what he's capable of. On the other side, he's going to play against the guy with the Smurf account Smurf account named Spirit Tower. So Spirit Tower against Grubby here on Echo Isles, one of the favorites maps of me, for example. I really like that map, I enjoy it. A lot of good games have been happening on Echo Isles in the recent past, and we're going to see how this game is going to unfold. Grubby sending out one peon, is going to play the normal kind of build so far, with the Blade Master coming out and the barracks about to be done. I think at this point we can fast forward until the hero comes out. Second borrow is going to line up. And there we go, almost the 2-minute mark is reached. It's of course a replay cast, this is not a live commentary, so we're gonna see how the game unfolds from now on. Blade Master is on the field, running immediately to that green camp with the grunt to its hands. That peon scouting what the under player is doing, also revealing that the strategy is going to be a late DK with early fiends. Double ziggurat and atomic relics, pretty standard, nothing too fancy about that. Blade Master is already hitting a bunch of these creeps, killing the Ogre Warrior right now, getting the Circlet of Nobility, a little bit more stats in all regards, strength, agility, and of course intelligence, increasing HP, mana, and the armor. So a pretty good pickup. The only thing that might be better is the Claws of Attack +6. Kills that one, got rid of the entire camp. Tech is about to start. You can see that he is like getting all the lumber that he needs for the take. 3 lumber is missing. He's waiting for 3 hits now, manually assigning that guy to get back to start his take ASAP. Pretty well done. The scouting peon is coming back to a base. Grunt is scouting if the under player is still doing this creep spot. Yeah, and we spoke about this earlier. The Claws of Attack +6 is a great item at the Blade Master. It's an even I wanted to say even better item on the Lich, which is probably a lie, but it's definitely not a bad item on the Lich if you stack up some damage. DK wants to go to the marketplace to pay a visit to the Blade Master. I was expecting him to creep that Ogre Magi. On the other hand, the Fiend needs to be careful. First coil is being spent on the Fiend. Actually, it was the second one. The first coil was used to kill the creep in time because he was expecting a Blade Master around. One Fiend to skeletons driving away that one Grunt, while the other Fiend is trying to retreat here. But the Grunt is just waiting to block that Fiend for a little more hits of that Blade Master. He's already pretty hard hitting on that Fiend. He needs to get it out of there. Another coil arrived there in time. Not sure if there's another coil available. Yeah, one more will be available in quite some time. Nicely micro there by Grubby, blocking that Fiend over and over again. Frost Tower in the main base is kind of scary for the Grunt, so he's sending out the Grunt before the Blade Master reveals that tower in position. Well done so far. A lot of aggression coming out of Grubby right in the early game. Trying to be as aggressive as possible, forcing a lot of these coils so that the under player is barely able to leave his main base. Because when you leave your main base to go for a big creep spot, and you will be creep checked by that Blade Master without having enough mana to keep your fiends alive with death coils, you are running into problems all along. Creep jacking an under player, killing his fiends, lowering the amount of fiends is definitely crucial in the early game department. DK is now separating himself from his army. He's going to the shop here, going to see if the Orc player is picking up the Boots of Speed. He bought the Boots of Speed and sold it right again. Blade Master stole the experience there. That Fiend needs to be very, very careful. He's not realizing that the Orc player is already around, loses the first Fiend. Really not sure if that was like all worth it, like buying the Boots of Speed and denying the Orc player the Boots of Speed for some time by the cost of 125 gold. That creep goes to Grubby as well. Yeah, DK want to ring around the map. Maybe a surround attempt here on the DK. Trying to squeeze his grunts through. Finally, we're gonna have a level 2 DK. Unholy Aura kicking in. Nicely blocked there with the Grunt Blade Master going crazy on that DK again. And you can see that he barred a Claws of Attack +6 at the marketplace. Now with the +8 damage in the early game department, he is pretty well equipped. 4th Fiend is coming, should have been the 5th. On the other hand, Orc players already taking to tier 3. We have a Shadow Hunter coming out. Bestiary as a second production facility is kicking in for Grubby soon. DK is still trying to dodge that surround, but now the Fiend comes out of the crypt. Could have been surrounded as well. But yeah, he's zoning the DK from the rest of his army. 4 Fiends, tier 2 is done. The resources for the undead player, let's check that. Not too many resources. He got triple ghouls fairly early in the game. DK will not be able to get back to his homies. Separated from the rest of his army. We're gonna have 2 smiley faces coming out. Both of the players realizing what kind of an odd scenario that is. So 4 Fiends, tier 3 tech, and the Lich is coming. Blade Master is finally going to pick up another Claws of Attack +6 while he's creeping the Ogre Magi. About to get a really nice item from that one. And which one is it? It's a Greater Potion of Mana, especially for the Shadow Hunter, an amazing item to give some more healing to all the units that he got. Sustain will be key against the Undead army. Blade Master is taking a look at the Force Troll Trappers together with the +14 damage that he now got. He can easily creep 1 or 2 more creeps here at the marketplace. Is now retreating there. Shadowhunter is already waiting for the grunts to come by at the natural expansion. Lich is now joining the fray of the undead player. Slaughterhouse is coming and the Burrow upgrade being upgraded. So, Burrow upgrade for the 4 Fiends. First statue is still a little bit away. Frost Armor is the first spell on the Lich. Pretty casual, pretty normal. Shadowhunter creeping here. Already killed the first Forest Trapper. It's now going for the Ogre Magi. While the Blade Master is idling a little bit on the map, going for the Murloc Nightcrawler here, who can potentially drop a Tomb of Experience. And it's just a Tomb of Ints, so he's going to clear the camp to have that level 3 and the level 2 Windwark ready on his blade. Tier 3 take 50% done for the undead, already done for the Orc player, super fast take, gets a Burrow down here. It's probably going to rush for a Tiny Hall. Shadowhunter finally reaches level 2, Blade Master is level 3, DK on the other hand 2.5 with a Ring of Regeneration, Claws of Attack being given over to the Lich, who is still level 1.5, making its way to level 2. And yeah, both of the players taking a very passive stand in this game. And we see the reinforced defenses coming into play for the Orc. Wants to keep his Burrow safe, wants to keep the Burrow, especially at the expansion. Like, he's basically constructing that as a tower to guard his expansion, I have that feeling. He also wants to make sure that these Burrows are not falling. He sends out a Peon to actually scout the positioning of the undead and even see if the undead is coming from the top half towards the main base of the Orc. But the Orc is still creeping. Shadowhunter with the Ring of Protection +3 from the mercenary camp is now getting closer and closer to level 3. Orb of Lightning already on the Blade Master can purge off that Frost Armor, +19 damage, and the Tiny Hall is now coming. Skeletons being sent out by the undead finally. Took him quite some time to get some scouting done. Destroyer upgrade is coming, another Fiend, 40 supply for the Orc player. We do have 42 supply for the undead, so not a real supply advantage for any of these players. It's actually 6 Fiends already with 1 statue equipped, so he's skipping on the second statue for mana. Now the skeleton is going to reveal the Tiny Hall, seeing what's going on, uses that Burrow as a tower, gets rid of the skeleton immediately, but the undead is already charging through the middle of the map, making its way towards the Orc player's main base. Even gets some ghouls for frontline support. It's going to creep the rest of the middle here. Ogre Warriors number 1 and number 2 are about to die. Lightning Shield could be a really great item to put it on the Blade Master in the middle of the fight. Is there Dust of Appearance? Yes, there's already Dust of Appearance. He sold that Lightning Shield and he bought an Invo Potion for the Blade Master. No heal scroll yet. And we have double hero, 50 supply for the Orc with that expansion that he just constructed. Third hero now coming with a Pit Lord for the undead player. Only 1 statue, 47 supply. A lot of Fiends though, Frost Armor kicking in. goes very aggressive here with the Coil Nova on one of the Raiders, lowering the number of the end snares in the fight. 4 grunts, 1 Raider, and a Headhunter remains, or 2 Raiders. And now another Nova. He goes very aggressively with his spells here, spends a lot of mana there. So the amount of mana on the Lich is on an all-time low. There's not a second statue to provide him with mana regeneration. Of course, you can use that one statue to regenerate HP as well as mana, but that will take quite some micro from you. That Borrow is standing strong with that upgrade, but for how long is the question. He's attacking that one. Clarity Potion on the Shadow Hunter is immediately being used. We see the Hall of Terror reducing the damage of all the units. Not the Blade Master. The Blade Master didn't get hit. He dodges that eating attempts of that Kodo Beast, and now he needs to keep the Destroyer alive. One of the Fiends is dying as well. Fiend is dead. Destroyer both should die against the Blade Master and the Headhunters. No more statues. Under player in somewhat of a really bad position here. I feel he's just going in deep. There's one Fiend being borrowed. The Dust of Appearance can still be used on the Orc player's side, not realizing that finally the big mana potion is being used by Grubby, so he got some more healing ready for himself. Another statue arrives at the party, immediately being targeted by the Blade Master, ensnared. Fiend unborrowed. Finally, the Dust of Appearance being used as well. That Blade Master is in all sorts of trouble there, but there's still an Invo Potion keeping that one alive. I think he prepared the nuking already, was not really successful with that, as the Blade Master still got an Invo Potion. Borrow being used yet again to keep that Fiend alive. Lich is being coiled. The Hex was a little too late. Blade Master in some trouble. No dust. Actually, there is some dust. Coil kills the first hero of the Orc player, and the Undead in a very good position now after killing the first hero of the Orc. Expansion is still set into play here. The army is also still standing strong. Shadowhunter almost level 4, but the Pitlord, DK, and the Lich get some more experience after killing that hero. The one Ghoul is still standing strong here. He will need 1 or 2 more statues to take a really good stand, and there's the first statue coming to the party. That Borrow is a pain in the ass for the undead player. If he kills that one, he got free reign over the gold line. Dodges the Ensnare with a beautiful Borrow there. Nicely done by Spirit Tower. Now the Fiend is being unborrowed, attacking some of these units. There's no Nova, but there's a Coil killing another of these Raiders. But Grubby is just poking a little bit, trying to buy some time so that the Borrow stays alive, that the mining continues at the gold mine. Here, second gold mine for him. Statue is being targeted. He knows how important that statue is for the undead player. The sustainability. He loses 1 Fiend to the Borrow. That was kind of bad. Another statue is coming as he kills the first one. Shadowhunter goes up to level 4. And he's taking that fight very convincingly, despite the fact that the Blade Master is dead. Hexes the Lich so that the minus armor cannot be applied to the units. Very well done there by Grubby yet again, and more statues are dying. No more statue, and another Fiend died. The Kodo Beast is going to eat that Fiend. Beautiful execution. I think the Raider stayed alive, or did the Raider die? Not so sure. That one Fiend in the middle of everything needs to be careful. Shadowhunter get a Hex ready in a second. That Blade Master is slowly coming back into the game. Another statue is coming, and another Fiend. 1 more Coil remains on that DK. Cannot really afford to use it offensively. Blade Master is back in the game. Shadowhunter very aggressive with his Speed Squall equipped, feeling super safe. Is there a Nova? No Nova. No mana for a Nova. And the Blade Master going at the statue yet again. You can really see how important these statues are for the undead, and Grubby completely aware of that fact. Blade Master finds himself in a lot of trouble, about to die. Healing Wave keeps him alive. 2 ghouls are coming to the party. He should cancel that healing self on the hero. Is baiting him away from the natural expansion that he constructed. And since Grubby is on 2 gold mines, he's doing pretty well for himself. 2 statues now finally there with 2 more ghouls and 6 fiends. Seems like the undead amount is still on a rise. Let me check the supplies. 55 for Grubby, 56 for the undead player, bringing the ghouls to the table. Pitlord level 2.5, Lich level 3, DK is a level 3 as well. But he needs a mana potion, I feel. He desperately needs a mana potion, but that gold mine's still there. The Borrow is still standing strong as a tower to support the Orc player in the fight. And now with all that army coming together, it seems like Grubby finally found the solution to win that game. Blade Master without an Invo Potion though needs to be careful, is going in. The Raiders is being killed, but another statue is dead. One Fiend and the statue already dead. Only a Raider paid the price for that one. Dust of Appearance being used as well as the Hole of Terror. There is still Dust of Appearance on the Orcish side that he could use to reveal the borrowed Fiends, but seems to be too busy keeping his Blade Master alive. Fiends unborrowed though. Dust of Appearance was not used yet. And yeah, he's baiting his attention, is dividing the attention to both sides of the fight with the one Blade Master coming from the right and the left hand side. We see the entire army of the Orc players still standing strong. No upgrades though. Kind of surprising that they're so strong. The statues are being attacked, separating the rest of the army here. And yeah, he's just creating multiple threats for his opponent. Shadowhunter now with another speed scroll being able to retreat and get out of there. And you can see the unit numbers of the undead are dwindling as the Orc player is still mining from 2 gold mines. Both of the Orcish heroes are kind of low. The Blade Master was able to buy a healing potion, I have that feeling. In the meantime, 700 gold still on the bank. Grubby seems to be very confident in this game. Now with double Ensnare on the DK, he might be in a fantastic spot to kill that first hero of the undead. There's another coil ready to go at the Blade Master. Shadowhunter doesn't have a healing wave yet. Blade Master sells one of his items, buys a healing scroll, but dies despite the fact that he had a healing sustainability item. Shadowhunter bought the Invis potion to stay alive for now, but the Blade Master could easily be revived in the middle, and he's not added to the army yet. Another statue. I'm not sure how many statues died this game, but I think the count is rising to 5 or 6 statues in total. That statue is going to die. Another one is coming to that party. We have seen that a couple of times, that more and more statues are coming for the undead player, but all of them being denied and killed. No surround on the Grunt, nor on the Shadowhunter, the Raider. Shadowhunter on the other side is getting closer and closer to level 5. Undead heroes, like the Pit Lord made it to level 3, but in the meantime a lot of units got killed here. Dust of Appearance as well as an Invo Potion for the DK to stay alive. The plus 25 damage on the Blade Master should be enough to drive that undead player away from his main base by focusing him for some time. And probably the 20th statue of the century finally here being focused. Yeah, Grubby taking out one by one, and now going for the second statue. Kodobi is coming from the back, about to eat one of the Fiends. Undead player realizing the only thing that he can do is probably focusing the hero, but looking at the gold bank of Grubby, even focusing the hero will not be enough. Winning that game for him, of course, he can easily buy it back at the tavern. The Kodobi is being focused. The DK still got a call to keep the Lich alive. Invo Potion being triggered on the Lich. And another statue coming to that party. Blade Master is now the target, but we see a healing wave keeping him alive. Shadowhunter is unfocused. I think he should have killed the Shadowhunter at some point. There were like multiple occasions where he could have focused that hero. Kodobeast got a nice Fiend in his tummy. Maybe that one will die with that Orb of Corruption and the Fiend shooting at it. 2 more Fiends coming to the party. Oh, and now the DK is being focused. Finally, we're going to see the focus there on the first hero of the undead player. Lich is being ensnared, and now the prime target here. There is still a coil that he can use, and he uses that one. Frost armor on the Lich. Is he going to lose his second hero? It's already a level 4 Lich. More and more Fiends. Seems like that he skips on that idea to construct more statues, since he knows that all of the statues have been killed in the past. Blade Master and Shadowhunter doing a phenomenal job of staying alive here. That Fiend is being borrowed. Lich is still being focused. No mana on the DK. Needs to be very, very careful. Dust of Appearance being used to reveal the Blade Master, who is now being targeted. There is no Invo Potion. There is a heal wave. Of course, he gave that circlet to that hero to give him a little bit more mana, and it seems like that the Blade Master is not going to die from the features. Actually, it dies. There is a coil in a second, but that was damn smart, giving that circlet over to the Shadowhunter to increase his mana pool by a little bit, which was enough to get a healing wave out. Blade Master immediately coming back at the tavern, and this is just the use of the second gold mine. More and more units are dying though DK gets closer and closer to level 5, but as the hero is retreating and the Blade Master is not dying, because there is no more Nova, no more Coil, the Lich is desperately trying to fight against this army. The Grunts are doing a really good job of killing these fiends in no time. 54 supply still for the Orc player. That fight continued for, I don't know, 20 minutes as it feels. DK now being hexed. Lich is not enough to keep that DK alive. Kills the Blade Master though. It's not enough. Lich is now surrounded as well. Grubby pulling off one surround after another. GG being called by Spirit Tower. And congratulations for Grubby's control here in that game. Phenomenally well controlled, well played, a nice game, and definitely a top game for sure. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. Leave a thumbs up and also leave a follow to the YouTube channel. Have a good one. Enjoy your day and bye bye guys.